What is toxic positivity?
Or, I think it's like people who aren't genuinely being nice. They're just like
Trying to sell you nice.
trying to sell you nice, looking
Nice
for validation,
TM.
like just wanting the credit for being nice. But like Ellen, like if that's,
Right.
right. I don't know if that's too soon, but
All right, so I'd put Ellen in that category. Steve Harvey is in that category. I would say like self-help gurus are in that category.
Yeah, life coaches.
It can be
Life coaches.
I know some people that want to be life coaches, and this is like no disrespect to them, because I feel like, but bro, like, why the fuck do you want to be a life? Like, bro, that is the weirdest shit. Like, you are a grown person, and you want to tell other grown people like how to better live their lives. Like,
what?
It might be.
I
Go
don't know,
on.
bro.
Why would it be gaslighting? Why would it
Like,
be?
I
no
admire that people
disrespect.
want to like help people.
like-
That's good,
it's
but
like,
like
what?
life coach
Yeah.
though, like that's such a weird
No,
thing.
no, no.
Yeah, that is a weird thing.
What's so funny is that, like you said, I know
My
some
life
people who want to
coach
be
told me
life
to buy
coaches,
Dogecoin.
and that's immediately because it's immediately funny because you said no disrespect. So like they're like
No,
they're like I want to coach people's lives because I'm in the position to do so.
Right.
And yours was no disrespect.
Right. ...
But
That shows
Let
like,
me help you have it all figured out, because
your life.
I either A, do all have it figured
Here's-
out, which is a bullshit statement, or B, I don't have it figured out, but I'm somehow gonna help you have it figured out. I don't know. It's just
No,
like,
no, I totally
life,
feel you.
Like, how do you coach a life?
Who's
like,
that happy motherfucker with the big teeth that's like tall as shit?
And
He was in Shallow
the,
Hal or
the
some
phrase
shit?
song, "How to Coach a Life" or some shit.
No, how to save a life. How to coach
save
a
a
life would be
But you know what?
crazy.
Same concept though.
I hope they don't
It seems
remix
like
that.
how to save a life.
toxic positivity is a crazy thing though.
I think
What's the
it's
actual
I think
definition
it's
of
Joel
that, yeah?
Osteen. I think
can be-
toxic positivity is prosperity church.
Yeah,
Oh,
it can
yes.
become culty in the nature that basically you set up a culture of like, this is so great what we're doing, and it's so like
Yes.
I have a friend that's a teacher, and they basically at the beginning they make them all come in and we have a meet and greet, and they have this whole thing where they're like, oh, this is awesome, we're doing it. And he's like just sitting there like, why am I here on a Saturday just wasting time? This doesn't actually help with my job or anything like that. But they call it team building. It's like team building and pizza parties and no
Team
unions.
building and pizza parties. If we
But
give them
fuck
pizza,
you.
they won't complain.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, everything's falling. Hey, but hey, we should have a pizza party. Who wants pepperoni
Yeah.
or cheese? And all of a sudden, the conversation is now about a binary that's a different. It's not these doors.
Yeah.
It's this specific avenue that takes about a couple $100 to solve.
Right.
But at least they're doing something. They're listening to you guys.
They're
You
getting
know?
them pizza
No,
and
they're
everything,
not.
bro.
They're looting everything.
Have you seen that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they were talking about the pickle party? There was like an episode where they were complaining about like them not having health insurance and all of these things that actually matter, like how the money was being split up. Why don't we have health insurance? And in order to get them to stop talking about it, Frank would just get them to talk about how they wanted the limes slashed.
Yeah.
They want the limes cut into like smaller wedges or thicker wedges, and then they get to arguing about that. And then once they'd unite on an issue and a way to fix the limes, it'd give them something else to worry about, like pickleback shots versus limes, the limes that they already agreed upon, and so on and so forth. And eventually Dennis figures it out. He's like, hey, bro, I don't want to do this. You know what? I want the illusion of power. And so he becomes like the president of Wolf Cola.
Executive of Wolf Cola.
Yeah. So it's basically that. Now, I don't think that Frank is necessarily a positive person, but I do think that there is something to be said about toxic positivity when it comes to things like a Joel Osteen or like these people that are basically trying to sell you positivity as opposed to giving you positivity. And I know that sounds like a catch-all, like, you know what the problem is? Money. I'm not saying that I'm against anybody making money. People should be able to make money because we all need it to exist. But it seems just kind of sick when people are like trying to sell you
manipulative and
salvation and like
It's
shit like
exploitive.
that. It's very exploitive. But everything's exploitive.
Well, no,
but it's
I
not
think
all
there's
evil.
a measure. No, there's a
You know what I
measure
mean?
of what you're selling versus what you take and what you put back into a system.
Right.
And it sounds like if the guy had enough money to put literally hide in his walls, and these are the only ones we found. It was like some dude was like repairing an AC and just broke or some pipes or something. They found money, and it was like not. I mean, it wasn't like if you don't remember. I'm sure people in Houston remembers what happened during that hurricane and who opened their doors and who did not.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean that's not to be, you know.
That's pretty much my position on 99% of
So,
religion.
like, what do they take versus what they, you know, and I think there's different layers of that. You have people like that literally don't give back anything but just the idea of, like, you're going to be good. Here's a place to be really, you know.
Like blessed are the meek. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a thing that's taught is, like, blessed are the meek, which is like, oh, no, like, if you're poor... This is a good thing. This is a holy experience to be poor, and God will reward you in the afterlife.
Yeah.
That is like a literal, actual concept that's taught in Christianity, but not just in Christianity.
Specifically
so, like,
in them prosperity
people
shits.
it's literally an archetype of pastor where you have a pastor who's using these types of concepts to manipulate people, whether or not the text itself is right or wrong. You've got people that are using that shit, you know what I'm saying, to take advantage of people, because there's a lot of people with a lot of needs. They're looking for some sort of answer, you know what I'm saying? And you got this fucking guy like, oh, man, look, God is about to hook y'all up so much if you just give me all your money.
Yeah, but also...
I talk to him. Just...
Yeah, but, I mean, Southern Baptist... split from Northern Baptists over like slavery, saying who should own who and how we should that side should benefit from, you know, the residual of that. And I mean, honestly, Constantine in Rome in 300 AD, they edited the Bible and made it into the thing that it is. So
well, I mean,
in order to kind of like control their whole like sprawling ass like empire. So it's like, of course they'd be like, oh, you guys are good. Give Jesus what's Jesus. Give Rome, you know, Caesar what's Caesar's. Pay your taxes. You'll be good in heaven. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's like, I mean. I'm not saying there's not some stuff in. I don't know, but I'm just saying, just know the narrative and who's telling you, like, what their motivations could possibly be.
Right. Yeah. For everything that's said,
everything.
Ask who's saying
Make up your own
when
decisions, man. But
why are they saying it?
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, that's one of those things, though. Like, the info is out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have histories of the Bible and its revisions. We've got histories of all that stuff. So people are either like interested in that or not. So it's like.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like if you, like, people be like, "Oh man, you should read up on shit," but the other side of that coin is you can read up on shit and you can know this shit, and you can feel alone as fuck in this knowledge because you can say some shit that where you literally read up and it's fucking accurate information, and because it's not a comfortable truth, people will reject it and refuse to fucking look into it because they don't want to believe that shit.
True.
So
and they'll hate you for saying it.
Yeah, like to be literally, this is it happens a lot.
Well, there's an art to conversation, and I think this is from the Bible. I can't remember the context, but
the sacred beliefs.
The quote was words seasoned with salt. So it's like there's a way to say certain things, even things that are uncomfortable, where you are constructive instead of destructive. Now, sometimes there are more pieces to that puzzle than other times.
Right.
But yeah, I think that just kind of comes with
that's the art of the deal type shit. Yeah, like you preferably you want to hit some people. That was my thing with Bill Cosby. Like before the whole Bill Cosby thing, like, and I don't know if you remember, but
pull up your pants.
I think this is this is back in the day. This is like. I probably didn't even really know you. I think we probably worked at the same place. Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Bill Cosby is. Or man, I ain't even gonna say like the whole thing, but the conversation was basically along the lines of like, all right, Bill Cosby has these things that he's done, and I'm like, I don't know, bro. Bill Cosby doesn't. He rubs me the wrong way. He's coming at us. He's coming at people wrong, like, oh man, all the youth are fucking up and they're like so terrible. And back in my fucking day, and you can't be cussing and all this shit. I'm like, bro, that shit's fucked up. Now, it came out after the fact that he was doing the Bill Cosby ass shit.
But note how he's starting to he was regulating and selling regulation and the thing of like everything would be good. It's like if you don't sag And I remember my dad talking about,
He's
you know why they
policing
say it is because in
behavior.
prison you couldn't have a belt, so it's about being back. It shows you that you're proud of being in prison, and it's in this culture.
Man, do you guys remember when he like talked shit to Wanda Sykes at the Oscars?
It's like super racist.
What?
Do you remember the Wanda Sykes thing?
What's the Wanda Sykes thing?
Where like it was at the Oscars, I think, or some big award show where Wanda Sykes was like hosting, and she was like walking through the audience, like asking people questions. She came to Bill Cosby, and he was like, "I'll answer you when you start to speak English," or something like that. Just like super cold, and like the whole audience just
What
like,
is she saying?
Man, I gotta play that.
I feel like Wanda Sykes probably roasted him.
Yeah, I think Wanda Sykes had a pretty good comment.
But
it was like he threw some like.
I've never seen this.
Wanda Sykes is not the one or the two, bro. I feel like she probably had something for that ass right there.
Right, I felt like she would let somebody know, like,
Yeah.
But that's my thing. It's like anytime there's somebody that's very behavioral police, like very preachy like that, it makes me wary because we've got so many fucking examples of these motherfuckers turning out to be deviants themselves.
Do y'all think that is toxic positivity, the behavioral police?
Yeah. Well, to an extent, I mean, if you are a part of a belief system, you have to have accountability. So it's a yin and yang type of thing. Like, if you're, so I get that. Like, people that are a part of a religion, them telling each other like, hey, like this is the right way, this is the wrong way, whatever. I understand that you have to have accountability. Some of that shit's fucking goofy as fuck. Like, people like Christians are like, oh, why y'all have a Christmas tree? This is from Yule and you're worshiping Odin. Like, no. I'm literally not fucking worshiping Odin. It's a goddamn Christmas tree. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
But so it's kind of subjective. The line is gonna vary from person to person. But it's a delicate balance because if you have a belief system, which most people do, there's got to be some sort of accountability. Because if there's no accountability, then what the fuck is the belief system? It's just a free for all. Yeah. There's no rules. But on the flip side, you know what I'm saying, is that side of it, which is, you know, the Joel Osteens of the world and the toxic positivity and the, you know, that kind of whole side of it. So
it's an interesting point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, have you ever met a Mormon?
Yeah.
Nicest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah,
but then like
super nice.
There's a certain point into the conversation where we'll like drift into like just like subtly trying to get you into Mormonism.
Right.
But they're like the nicest people, so you can't be like, you know, you don't want to be like,
I've never
hey,
spent an extended amount of time with a
There's
Mormon.
some crazy people,
there's
man.
Some Yvonne et Niyajas.
Really?
Motherfuckers.
That's crazy. That's a nice reference, though.
Yeah.
Nice reference.
That's a good solid reference. But also, you know what I think a good example of toxic positivity would be?
What?
Is the Jedi, man. I think they're like so against like feeling emotion or just like, you know, like that some emotions are bad, but you can like feel them anyway. And fuck, man, if like Anakin had one session of therapy, he probably wouldn't have killed all those kids.
That's some real shit. They just tell him to forget about his mother and his
feelings.
Just
like suppress it and just like think about.
Oh shit! If he had just gone to motherfucking therapy, he
could
have been the chosen one.
Right.
That's fucked up. You just fucked Star Wars. For me.
Nah, that's a part of what. Like I was just talking earlier, like with Jake, like about how like I'm kind of a passive Star Wars fan, but I will say that's an aspect of it that's pretty dope. When you think about the Jedi versus the Sith mentality, it's dope because like certain people might see those and say like, oh, like I actually identify with the Sith, but it's like if you really think about both, you're like, damn, like I could see this side of it, and I could see how somebody could choose this side even though it's got its flaws, or choose like you could see like I always hate like the really basic villains, you know what I'm saying? It's like this dude is just evil as fuck for no reason. He's a fucking hater.
I want to take
like,
over the world. Why? Because I want the money.
Right. It's like stupid ass, just random evil. But it's like with the Sith, it's like no, like their reasoning is kind of sound, honestly, but it's just like their way of going about achieving what they need to achieve or what they believe is right is different.
So I think
extremes.
that's definitely like something that exists in most things, right? So like if you were to look at Harry Potter, You have like, you know, the Ravenclaws that are like known as the smart people, and you have like the Slytherins, which are like the devious kind of bastards.
That's kind of fucked though. The thieving.
It is very fucked. Like you go to bastard house, you go to like leader house, you go to nerd house, and you go to like fat soft ass corny
softy,
guy house. You know, like they really separate them like that, which is fucked up.
Right.
But Gryffindor is like the brave one with leader type A people. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, that works great for like. I mean, they are like children's novels,
But
so it's like if you think like
but then
a kid,
even like
yeah.
the X-Men and like the Brotherhood,
Right.
Like what is the Brotherhood? They're not doing anything wrong. Mutants are persecuted, and they're like, you know what I'm sick of? Being persecuted. You know what you're not gonna do? Persecute me.
Right.
Whereas the X-Men are like, nah, non-violent. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
yeah.
you know, that's also a similar thing. And the light and dark side of the Force. Now, I guess what I'm getting to is how long before we start seeing the story from the other perspective? Right?
Man.
How long until they start making, like, Slytherin main character stories in the Harry Potter universe?
Oh, yeah.
Before they start
that
making
would be dope.
Sith positive
Like make this
television
shit make
shows.
sense.
Yeah. Man, I was
thing.
actually hoping like when the new trilogy of Star Wars is coming out, and, like
That should be a Sith.
yeah, or like the second one, there was like a trailer, and I was like, oh fuck, dude, they're gonna go into like the gray or like the people who are like into the
Right.
Force but aren't either.
Right.
I thought that would have been a fucking like cool like.
I wish he had
transition.
gone Sith, man. I wish
But
he
then-
had saved the universe as a Sith.
Yeah.
I think that would have like provided balance.
That would have been dope,
right.
Yeah.
Because the first one was about how the Jedi saved the universe.
Yeah.
What if the second one?
Well, I think it'd be
was-
cool if it was just like neither Jedi or Sith. She was just like, yo, you both are kind of crazy, fanatical, like.
You know what I'm not
assholes.
trying to
Like,
do? None of that Force shit. I'm trying to, you know,
Yeah, or
Yeah,
something.
keep it
but
G
you know
or
everybody
something.
hates a fucking centrist, so
Yeah,
Oh,
been
Ray the
received very
Center.
poorly.
Yeah, it's a solid point, right?
This is pandering.
Right.
This isn't a leftist
it's fucking
agenda.
This
This is a
you won't pick a
standing
side.
agenda.
And that's my criticism of this film. They won't pick a side because they're
Yeah.
afraid of my
right.
wrath.
Hit this. All
Yeah,
right,
you
let's
wanna
take
see
a
this
break.
Wanda.
Let's take
Yeah.
a break, and then
Yeah,
when we
right.
come back, we'll do the award show.
Hell yeah.